let's just get this out of the way. What are the Browns doing? Because right now, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you're probably somewhere between confusion, frustration, and lighting your jersey on fire in the driveway. And honestly, who could blame you? After weeks of watching rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders carve up defenses in practice, without first-team reps, mind you, the Browns have reportedly decided to give the starting quarterback nod to Dillon Gabriel. Yeah, let that sit for a second. They're choosing a QB who's been consistently inconsistent, whose completion percentages in camp have hovered around 50%. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. And who, by all credible accounts, can't string together a full drive without a few wobblers over a quarterback who has outperformed everyone, despite being relegated to third and fourth-string scraps. And fans? Oh, they've had enough. This isn't just a quarterback debate anymore. This is something bigger, something louder, something more uncomfortable. Because now, questions are swirling, not just about football judgment, but about bias, favoritism, even racism. And when names like Shannon Sharp and Omar Kelly are calling out on national platforms, you know it's not just fans losing their minds. It's respected analysts saying what we're all thinking. What more does Shedeur Sanders have to do? Let's be clear, this is not a fluke. Shedeur hasn't just flashed once or twice. He's strung together camp performance after performance, efficient reads, deep ball accuracy, pocket poise, all while being paired with backup receivers, backup linemen, and teammates who probably won't even make the team. And still outperforming Gabriel, still showing better command, still more consistent, still not starting. So here's where the story goes from weird camp battle to full-on franchise scandal. The Browns know exactly what Shedeur is doing. Head coach Kevin Stefanski knows. The quarterback's coach knows. Even ownership, especially ownership, knows. And yet, they continue to feed Gabriel the snaps, give him the platform, the spotlight, the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, Shedeur is out here grinding the shadows, getting tossed into team period with guys who aren't even on the official roster photo, and still somehow making plays, moving the ball, showing touch, leading with presence. And yeah, it's starting to look less like football politics and more like actual politics. Let's talk about what makes this even messier. Dillon Gabriel is, on paper, the safer choice. He's a lefty. He's been around. He's got that classic undersized underdog narrative that teams love to force into Cinderella stories. Except here's the thing. The movie doesn't work if the guy can't complete a pass. Reports out of camp have been brutal. One day, he went 3 for 14 in full speed drills. 3, 4, 14. Do the math. That's less than 22%. You could give him checkdowns and screen passes and still end up with better numbers than that. And meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is over there, threading needles in double coverage, managing drives, leading third stringers into the red zone like he's playing with starters, with poise, with confidence, with a calm that doesn't belong to a rookie. He's showing the kind of maturity that doesn't just suggest upside, it demands opportunity. But instead, he gets gaslit. Instead, we get quotes from the staff about process, about earning reps, about sticking to plan. What plan? The one where you let your best quarterback rot behind a guy who's actively fumbling the opportunity in real time? Because that's what fans are watching. This isn't speculation. This isn't fans getting overhyped on preseason buzz. This is evidence on film, in person, every single day. The gap between these two quarterbacks isn't closing. It's widening, and not in the direction the team is betting on. Let's talk about what this is doing to the locker room. You think players aren't noticing? You think veterans don't see the QB who's putting balls where they need to be, and the one who's spraying them like a busted garden hose? You think guys on the bubble, guys fighting for jobs, don't want to be paired with a QB that gives them a chance to get noticed? There's already tension. Quiet, maybe, but it's there. And it starts with one question. Why aren't we going with the guy who's playing better? And when that question doesn't get a football answer, when all you get are vague platitudes about development and systems, then other questions start to creep in. Ugly questions. Because you can only watch someone be this good for this long and still get ignored for so long before the assumptions shift. And some fans and analysts aren't dancing around it anymore. Is it racial bias? Is it legacy bias? Is it institutional fear of handing the keys to a black quarterback with swagger, personality, and media clout? Shedeur Sanders has a name, and a brand, and a voice. He's not shy. He's not going to pretend to be grateful for crumbs. And that, right there, might be the problem. Because this league still has issues when a young, black, confident quarterback dares to walk into the building acting like a starter before someone gives him permission. If Shedeur was quiet, if he waited patiently, if he knew his place, would he be in the running now? And if the answer to that is yes, that's not just football. That's systemic. Now, we're not here to throw accusations for the sake of drama. But when you have analysts like Shannon Sharpe raising exactly those concerns on national TV, you know this isn't just internet noise anymore. People are asking the hard questions. And the Browns? They're not answering them. Not directly. Not transparently. Not at all. And while they fumble the messaging, Shedeur keeps doing what he does best. Performing. No excuses. No outbursts. Just football. And that's the twist that makes this whole saga even more heartbreaking. He's handling it perfectly. He's not pouting. He's not whining. He's going out there every day, playing with third and fourth team guys, making the most of it and letting his arm do the talking. And it should be enough. But right now, it isn't. And that's why fans are livid. Because this isn't just about who's starting in week 1. This is about trust, about transparency, about a team that's built its reputation on heartbreak, finally having a chance to get it right, and looking like they're about to blow it all over again. So now what? Do the Browns double down on Gabriel? Do they continue to pretend this is just camp competition? Do they ride this all the way into a regular season where every missed throw becomes a national conversation about why Shedeur isn't out there? Or do they do the smart thing? Do they hit the brakes, take a breath, and ask the one question that actually matters? Who gives us the best chance to win? If the answer is Shedeur, and it should be, then everything else is noise. Because fans don't care about your depth chart politics. They don't care about your pride. They care about wins. And right now, the guy giving you the best chance to get them is not the one you're starting. Let that sink in, and then maybe, just maybe, do something about it before it's too late. Because if this gets away from the Browns, and Gabriel stumbles on the spotlight, and Shedeur walks into another team's facility and becomes a superstar, you can go ahead and print the T-shirts now. We had him, and we wasted him. Because if you're a Browns fan, this isn't your first heartbreak. You've been here before. Watching this team almost get it right, getting just close enough to hope, only to watch it collapse into a confusing mess of mismanagement and missed potential. And now, you're watching it happen again. Except this time, the difference is, it's not just on the field. It's in the decision-making. It's in the politics. It's in the invisible hands behind the curtain pulling strings, clinging to comfort, and ignoring what's right in front of them. Shedeur Sanders is ready, and the team knows it. They just won't say it out loud. Why? Because admitting that would mean facing the uncomfortable truth that they've bet on the wrong quarterback. Again, it would mean walking away from their plans, their process, and the quiet promise they made to themselves when they brought in Dillon Gabriel. That this was a guy, the underdog, the scrappy system quarterback who just needed time and reps. But time and reps won't fix what isn't there. Gabriel isn't a bad player. He's just not the guy. Not for this team. Not right now. And maybe not ever. Because when you stack him up against Shedeur, the difference is night and day. One looks like he's surviving practice. The other looks like he's controlling it. And still, we're watching Gabriel get gift-wrapped opportunity after opportunity, while Shedeur keeps being asked to prove it again. And again. And again. There's only so many times you can ignore that before fans stop seeing it as football strategy and start seeing it as something far uglier. And here's the thing no one in the front office wants to say out loud. They're scared. Scared that giving Shedeur the job will be seen as a panic move. Scared that if they start him and it doesn't go perfectly, they'll be crucified. Scared that giving the reins to a quarterback with swagger, who doesn't wait his turn, who believes he's ready, might shatter the illusion of control they've tried to maintain. But here's the truth they're ignoring. The illusion is already broken. You can't tell players to earn their spot, then reward mediocrity. You can't preach next man up, then bench the guy outperforming everyone because he doesn't fit your timeline. You can't expect fans to believe in your vision when every day of camp shows them something else. Shedeur is not just balling. He's doing it under pressure, in uncomfortable situations, with players who are fighting for their careers, not protecting his legacy. And despite all that, he's leading. He's not folding. He's not flinching. He's rising. And the longer the Browns ignore that rise, the bigger the backlash will be when it all comes crashing down. Because let's be real, what happens if the Browns go with Gabriel and week one is a disaster? What happens when the offense sputters, the fans boo, and the media starts asking why the most talented quarterback on the roster is standing on the sideline holding a clipboard? You think the locker room won't start whispering? You think the media won't swarm? You think Shedeur's team, his agent, his people, his brand, won't start asking real questions about how long he's supposed to play the good rookie while a less talented QB stumbles through reps like a guy running in sand? And what happens when those whispers turn attention? This league moves fast. If you're not the guy, you get replaced. If you are the guy and your team keeps pretending you're not, you walk. And this is the worst-case scenario the Browns are flirting with. Not just benching a better quarterback, but losing him entirely, losing his trust, losing his belief in the organization, losing the momentum, the electricity, the culture shift that he's been generating from the moment he walked into the building. There's only so long you can ignore that spark before it goes cold, before that confidence turns to contempt, before that opportunity becomes someone else's win. Because let's be honest, if Shedeur Sanders is this good already, without first-team reps, you think other teams aren't watching? You think there aren't GMs lining up in the background, quietly waiting for Cleveland to mess this up, so they can swoop in and say, "Hey kid, we believe in you. Come show us what you've got." And when that offer comes, and it will, what does Cleveland have left? A quarterback controversy they created, a divided fan base they ignored, and a future they let walk out the door because they were too scared to admit they were wrong. So no, this isn't just about a rookie being held back. This is about Cleveland, once again, standing at a fork in the road. One path leads to progress, to risk, to potential. The other? Same old Browns. Same old mediocrity. Same old fear. And if they choose wrong, you'll be able to mark this preseason as the exact moment they lost the locker room. So Browns fans, you deserve better. You've watched this team fumble opportunity after opportunity. You've stuck around through every false promise, every quarterback carousel, every next year will be different. And now you got something real. Don't let them spin it. Don't let them bury it under buzzwords and press conference doublespeak. Call it what it is, a franchise quarterback in waiting, not in 3 years. Now, Shedeur Sanders is the real deal. The moment is real. The chance to rewrite the story is right in front of them. The only thing left to see, will the Browns finally have the courage to take it? Here's the wild part in all of this. The Browns actually have what most teams dream of. A rookie quarterback who doesn't just show flashes, but legitimately looks like a star in the making. He's charismatic. He's composed. He's got the mechanics, the mobility, the mental sharpness, all of it. And he's doing this in chaos, behind shaky protection, with wideouts who might not make it past final cuts, against offenses that aren't pulling punches just because he's a rookie. He's thriving where most young quarterbacks crumble. And still, he sits. This isn't just frustrating anymore. It's absurd, like watching someone win a lottery and then tear up the ticket because we're waiting for a safer investment to mature. Safer? Dylan Gabriel, with his 50% completion rate and low ceiling game management, is safer? Safer for who? Because let's not forget, this team isn't coming off a Super Bowl run. The Browns aren't trying to maintain greatness. They're still chasing it. And the harsh truth is, if Shedeur Sanders isn't the guy now, there's no guarantee he'll still want to be when they finally figure it out. This is how franchises let potential slip through their fingers. They overthink it. They get stuck in politics. They try to make the clean move instead of the right one. They tell themselves they're being responsible, when really, they're just scared to commit, scared of the headlines, scared of the backlash, scared of what it means to truly put their future in a rookie's hands, especially one like Shedeur. Because let's be honest, this kid walks with confidence. He doesn't tiptoe around his own talent. He knows who his father is. He knows what his name carries. But more importantly, he knows he can play. And that confidence, that swagger, it terrifies traditional NFL culture. The league says it wants stars, but only the ones who play the game their way. Be talented but humble. Be confident but quiet. Be charismatic but controllable. Shedeur isn't here to play small. He's not asking for permission to lead. He's not doing the soft smile, I'll earn my stripes in a few years routine. He's looking the league in the eye and saying, I'm ready right now. And somehow, that's the problem. There's a kind of institutional discomfort with quarterbacks like Shedeur. Not just black quarterbacks who know their value, black quarterbacks who refuse to be boxed in, who won't downplay their own ability just to make a coach feel comfortable, who walk into a press room and talk like they already know where they're going. It's disruptive. It's bold. And for some people, it's just too much. But for Cleveland, it should be everything. Because that's what this franchise has been missing for years. Swagger, identity, belief. Every Browns quarterback of the last 20 years has been some version of the same guy. Hopeful, cautious, underwhelming. A good story until the season starts. And then, mediocrity. So here comes Shedeur Sanders, doing everything differently. And the response is what? Pull him back? Sit him down? Mute the momentum? It's like having a Formula One car and refusing to race it because you're worried the tires might wear out. Let him drive. If he fails, fine. Let it be on the field. Let it be with the ball in his hands. Not from the bench. Not from behind a clipboard. Not from some sanitized version of waiting your turn. We've seen what he can do. We've seen the reads, the throws, the leadership. We've seen a rookie walk into a pro locker room and command respect without even trying to dominate the conversation, just by being excellent. And no, he hasn't had perfect practices. He's made mistakes. He's learning. But all quarterbacks are. Even Dillon Gabriel. Especially Dillon Gabriel. So, what are we doing here? Why pretend this is some kind of neck-and-neck competition when one guy is clearly ahead, mentally, physically, emotionally, and the only thing keeping him sidelined is someone else's ego? Because that's what this has started to look like. Not a coaching decision. Not a football decision. An ego decision. A front office that doesn't want to admit their hand-picked option isn't good enough. A coaching staff that's afraid to make the bold move. An ownership that sees a PR risk where they should see a franchise-defining win. And if the Browns can't make that distinction now, in preseason, then when? When the season starts and Gabriel stumbles in week 1. When the fans start chanting Shedeur's name mid-drive. When the media puts every decision under a microscope and they're forced to explain why the most dynamic quarterback on the team is riding the bench while the offense goes 3 and out for 4th time. You think that's when it'll be easier? The longer they wait, the louder it gets. The pressure, the scrutiny, the questions, and eventually, the damage. Because no matter how mature Shedeur is, no matter how professional, there's only so many times you can walk into practice, do everything right, outperform the guy ahead of you, and still not get the job. Before it starts to change you. Before belief turns to bitterness. Before ambition turns to distance. Before you start looking around the league thinking, there are 31 other teams that would have given me a shot by now. And that Cleveland is your ticking clock. You don't just have a talented quarterback. You have a star in waiting. A player who could define your next decade. Or someone else's. That's what's at stake. This isn't just about week 1. This is about what kind of franchise you want to be. Are you going to stay stuck in the same loop, cautious, reactionary, safe? Or are you finally going to take the leap, shake the fear, and bet on someone who's earned it? You already know what the right choice is. You've seen it in practice, heard it from analysts, felt it in the crowd. The only thing left is to make it real. So here's the message to Stefanski, to the front office, to ownership. Stop playing scared. You've got the future on your roster. Stop burying it behind the past. Let him lead. Let him shine. Let the kid play. Because if you don't act surprised when he does it somewhere else with a different logo on his helmet. And your regrets echoing louder than the cheers you never let him earn. And that, folks, is the situation. No excuses. No spin. Just talent. Wasted. And a decision that could change everything.